Greetings everyone, Joe Davis, Southern New Hampshire University, CJ 104, discussion 5-1. Week 5's discussion. I want to take a couple minutes with you because an important part of this week's discussion board for you to do as well as you can is to be very selective in the article or the story or the case study that you pick out, because the prompt is fairly complex, so there may be several things that you need to make sure that article includes. So research and locate an article. This is the same assignment as for all of the others. Depicting corruption in a policing agency, the court system, correctional facilities. But again, make sure you've looked at this next part where you have to identify the actions that were the result of nonfeasance, misfeasance, or malfeasance, and that's discussed in the mini lecture for overview for chapter 5, module 5, excuse me. It's also, you can find it in the Blackboard shell for Justice 104 in module 5 under overview. And then you need to relate this corruption back to the decision-making process. That's the change in this one, this discussion over the others. The decision-making process, because we're looking at decision-making not so much for line level staff, but for sheriffs and chiefs of police and bureau commanders, something like that. So what decision resulted, whether it was an intentional decision or or consequences, whether it was an intentional or unintentional consequences, that corrupt actions depicted in the story. Then you need to support that with your assessment. So if you don't have an article with good ethical good decision making by, if you don't have an article with a good example of decision making that, whether it was intentional or unintentional, led to corrupt actions, you're going to have a tough time. Okay? Then respond to your classmates, of course, 2 responses or more. Explain the corruption in relation to the role of leadership. So now we're moving along to the role of ethical leadership, okay, within the organization. What evidence is there that leaders either discouraged or encouraged the corrupt behavior? If the story doesn't address leadership, you'll have to theorize what leaders may have done to encourage or discourage corruption. Hope that helps a little bit. It's just kind of a short overview. All of you do well on these discussions, but I wanted to touch base. Keep the cards and letters coming. I'm here to help.